Welcome back to the Ranking Heroes podcast, where we uncover the strategies that drive exceptional business growth. I'm your host, and today I'm excited to welcome SLAVA RYBALKA, a marketing executive who's been at the forefront of digital transformation for over 2 decades now. Slava has led growth initiatives at major companies like Chevy, Artisa, VSC Aviation, helping them scale revenue and optimize their performance marketing efforts. What sets him apart is his early adoption of AI and machine learning back in 2017. He completed a machine learning program specifically to understand how Google's rank brain was changing SEO forever. Since then, he's been building Python-based marketing tools, leveraging ChatGPT and different APIs for content operations, and developing automation systems that give businesses a real competitive edge. He combined strategic leadership with hands-on technical expertise, using everything from advanced analytics to AI integration to drive measurable results for businesses he worked with. Today, we are diving into how AI and machine learning are reshaping digital marketing, what it really takes to scale performance marketing in today's landscape, and how data automation can transform your marketing operations. Slava, welcome to our podcast. It's so nice to have you here, and I'm excited for the discussion we are going to have.
Thank you,
So,
Nibosh. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet everyone.
thank you. So, first, I would like if you can do a short introduction, tell something about yourself, something about your early career, and like how you first got involved in SEO.
Yes, of course. So initially, I was a teacher of English a long time ago in Belarus, and at some point, I realized that that's not the career that I want to continue with, and I decided to switch to digital marketing or anything basically related to the IT. And I had some intent to learn programming, but it was not that big. I liked more to deal with people, and I was looking for a profession on the intersect of computers and personal relations and psychology. And I figured out that search engine optimization at that point of time was the exact career that was booming, and it piqued my interest, and I started learning as much as I could about search engine optimization, basically
Mhm.
absorbing the data, the blogs, the information that I could find on the web, etc. So I switched to search engine optimization, and my first job on Odesk, it's
Mhm.
Upwork now, but back then it was Odesk,
Mhm.
was to build 5 backlinks, as far as I remember. And the person who hired me, he offered $10 for the job. And back then, I did not know how to do backlinks, but I read something about it, and I said, yes, I'm an SEO specialist. I can do that. I can help you. And of course, we ended up being friends, and he helped me with these backlinks. He actually helped me how to build these backlinks for himself. So that's how I started. And then it's been, like I'm saying, like 14 years ago. And since then, I moved to the US, worked at different companies, worked with literally hundreds of businesses and organizations and helped them with their websites.
And what would you say when you started? You just mentioned you started reading blogs, articles, like compared to the current knowledge that you can find on the internet. Was it harder to learn SEO back when you started?
Yeah, so it was something very new, because you did not see lots of information. You could not find lots of information. For
Mm,
example, we did not have websites like moz.com or Search Engine Journal or anything.
mhm,
At least maybe they existed at that time, but I started in Belarus in around 2010, and
mhm,
all I could see was related to blogging, affiliate marketing, basically
mhm,
how you can rank affiliate websites. So I started from that. And
mhm,
only when I moved to the US, then I learned about, actually, no, I think I learned about Moz before. So I learned about Moz and Search Engine Journal, some other websites about search engine optimization later, a little bit later. But initially, it was just about blogging.
And like, what attracted you to specialize in SEO and link building and things? You said you mentioned you want to switch to the IT, but still, when people are asked, people, let's say, some old grandma is asking you what you do, I know, like, because she doesn't understand what SEO is, and you will say programming or IT or something like that, but it's completely a different thing. Some parts of SEO overlaps with IT, like technical
Yeah.
implementations that you need to do, coding schemas, things like that. But like, was there a specific thing that attracted you to specialize in SEO?
You know, the term itself, it sounded cool at that point of
Mm-hmm.
time. And
Mm-hmm.
it was something new, something that I had not heard about before, and it was a perfect match for my aspirations at that time. I think in some way it was a pathway for me to achieve my personal goals, like become
Mm-hmm.
more successful in my career path or something. Because back then in Belarus, we did not have how to say that, more opportunities to, you
Mm-hmm.
know, to progress in career path. So
Mm-hmm.
search engine optimization, it sounded new at the same time, and at the same time, it promised something bigger than why I could achieve just doing my 9 to 5 work there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And was the SEO popular in Belarus at that time, 2010? Like,
You know what? No, I don't think more than 10 people knew about it, or more
mm-hmm.
than maybe
Mm-hmm.
50 people in Belarus knew about it. I got my first job there at an IT company, and I offered my boss to conduct a course on personal effectiveness
Mm-hmm.
for their executives. So we had a 1 hour session where I told them about the things I learned at business seminars. And they, in exchange, offered me, like my boss, he in exchange offered me to teach me some search engine optimization. And he had learned it at a Yandex conference that he attended in Moscow, maybe a year before that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I literally took a few notes based on what he was telling me about some keywords placement and some link building. And I took that, and then I built upon that by reading these blogs and learning from the
Mm-hmm.
internet.
Yeah, and like, how has your approach evolved as you've worked with diverse markets and industries, especially when you went to the US, where you started working with some US companies that are like up to date with the trends? And I know that the West is going like in the future, like 10 years compared to us that are in Europe.
Yeah, and my approach has evolved dramatically. So there were a few pivotal points, and I have a video on my channel where I'm talking about the history of search engine optimization.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened is initially when, as I mentioned, I learned about search engine optimization as link building. So
Mm-hmm.
I thought that it's a synonym. And I learned how to build these links, how to place them on different websites, like educational websites, or
Mm-hmm.
uh, how to do the commenting and do all this gray hat type of link building, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I sold my services as an SEO person, but it basically was link building under the
Mm-hmm.
hood and some minor optimization. And then I moved to the US and I got hired as an SEO manager at a company in Los Angeles. And I went to my first SEO conference, which was SMX West in
Mm-hmm.
2012 in San Francisco or San Jose. I don't remember exactly. So when I got there, I thought I knew search engine optimization. And I got to this conference, and all of a sudden, I see lots of people who've been doing search engine optimization for 10 years as like since 2000 2002, and they're talking about a completely different world. It was a huge mind shift for me in terms of my approach of how I do search engine optimization for different websites. All of a sudden I realized, so the content is important, the structure is important,
Mm-hmm.
all these elements, they play an important role, like all these 200 factors or more. It was a
Yeah.
completely different world. And then moving forward in time, again, like 2016, I believe, when I learned about rank brain, that was another shift for me, because I realized I need to catch up. I need to understand how neural nets work. So I signed up for that course at Udacity and learned how to build these machine learning algorithms.
Well, you're like you knew about the AI before everything happened. You were following the trends. Did you expect the boom in the AI when it happened, like nearly 3 years ago, when ChatGPT announced and published the first model?
I did not expect that, and I think few people could expect that, because um, I don't want to make assumptions. Actually, in 2016, then when there was an article and they did the research, and they said that I believe 15% or so search queries are being
Mm-hmm.
processed by a neural net,
Mm-hmm.
and Google is experimenting with that. I realized that I need to understand how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So back then, I signed up for another course, for an artificial intelligence course that was served at EDX. And during that course, I got a book. I got a book that's sick on artificial intelligence, and I tried to go through it. But in that book, you could not find anything related to the AI we knew right now. So
Mm-hmm.
in 2020 or whatever ChatGPT happened, um, everything shifted again. And now we use ChatGPT to just do research about our customer audience, to get the insights, to translate those insights into the keywords.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's a completely different type of AI now than the AI I imagined in 2016 when I signed up for that course.
Yeah, yeah, you didn't think about, okay, I'm going to be able to chat with it, to provide insights, get the insights back. Like the knowledge database is really huge when you think about it. Like it can scrape the entire internet and it has everything. And I know that the first AI was created by scanning the books in the library, and then they fed the model with the knowledge from the books, and then the model knew every book in the library and could answer any related questions. So yeah, that's very interesting. Before we discuss more about AI, I want to ask you some traditional SEO questions.
Of course,
So, considering you're working with an e-commerce right now, correct?
yes.
What would you say that an e-com needs the most when it comes to SEO and online marketing?
Yeah, so of course, I'm not calling myself an expert in e-commerce.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working in e-commerce for a few years, and definitely I picked up some of the approaches related
Mm-hmm.
to e-commerce that that we use in search engine optimization. Specifically, when I worked at Chewy, and they had a different approach from what I learned before, so that was another shift
Mm-hmm.
for me. Um, so the difference is that, let's say, if we compare an e-commerce website to a regular website, to a small business website, for example, on a small business website, they have services. Let's say a dentist or a spa salon, they have services there listed. So those are their hub pages.
Yeah.
In e-commerce, we have collections or categories, product categories. So those are the hub pages that accumulate the majority of link equity or authority. And then underneath, we have product pages. So this is, I would say, a standard structure, right? Whereas for the local businesses, we have services, and we have pages, like blog pages or guides supporting this
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
hub pages with the links. So that's the major difference in structure. Of course, with e-commerce websites, we're talking about lots of SKUs. It can be 20,000, can be 100,000 SKUs, and
Mm-hmm.
technical SEO becomes to play an important role, because Google might not be able to crawl a huge chunk of the website.
Mm-hmm.
We deal with lots of faceted URLs. Again, depends on the framework.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of websites are on Shopify right now, and Shopify did great job on optimizing their SEO. They hired some smart people to do that, and so I'm pretty confident in Shopify. But still, it also needs sometimes it needs some fine tuning as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's different. These are two different things. But in terms of e-commerce, my approach changed a little bit, and I started thinking more about the structure, technical
Mm-hmm.
SEO, and the content and the way the information is presented to the consumer, with the focus that if I'm a customer, I want to buy something. If I visit this website, I've already I've already gave a portion of my time to this website. So now
Yeah.
I'm expecting this website to understand my need and
Mm-hmm.
give me the information right away, give me the idea, or actually answer my intent right away. So that's the difference, I would say, between e-commerce
Mm-hmm.
websites and some other types of websites.
Yes, I understand. And one of my previous guests, he mentioned how he noticed for an e-commerce client, they've been running ads for a specific landing page, and they've been doing Google ads
Hmm.
specifically. And he noticed that even without the SEO, only by running a keyword campaign on Google Ads, you'll get your organic positions for these keywords also move up. Uh, did you ever see such correlation between ads and
And
organic?
okay, so what I can tell regarding that, there might be some indirect influence, indirect
Mm-hmm.
correlation because of that. Maybe because of more awareness and more brand signals.
Mm-hmm.
So indirectly, that could help. Again, that's my take. I'm not saying that I'm an expert in everything related to paid search and search engine optimization.
Yeah.
I spoke with one very famous person in SEO industry. Everybody in SEO knows this person long time ago, and again during one of the conferences, and he told me that they don't see any correlation between paid ads and search engine
Mm-hmm.
optimization.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different traffic acquisition channels.
Yeah.
So whether there is direct impact right now today from paid ads on SEO or not,
Mm-hmm.
not say that because I don't have enough data to prove
Yeah.
that.
And another question regarding the e-com is something that I recently noticed is that GPT launched a thing where it requires a website owner, like a store owner, to fill out some form so the GPT can basically show the results so that the users who are searching for products using GPT can directly buy from GPT. And I think this will really change how things are working, because like before we were typing like shoes running red, for
Mhm.
example, and now you're typing like this, also from one of my previous podcasts where Sarah told like now people want to search I live in Colorado, I want to buy myself red shoes, I want to go up in the hills, this is the average price that I can pay for these shoes. And like these are the questions that are really going through to the LLM and not to Google directly. So that's very interesting how the search will evolve. And I'm not sure if you have like kids and that, but like I have a son, he's only a year and a half old, and I know that he will now grow up next to the AI. And probably these youngsters, when they grow up, their way of searching will be completely different than our way of searching.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
yeah.
so I mean, it definitely, the new generation, the kids who grow up now, they grow up with AI because
Yeah.
ChatGPT, it's the part of their life now. They do their homework with ChatGPT, and they
Oh
use it.
no.
So, in terms of product placement within the ChatGPT results, you're absolutely right. So the situation has changed because before, when Google just appeared, people typed very simple keywords there, like shoes or running shoes, right? And
Yeah.
Google tried to do their best job to provide the optimal results for that searcher, for that person, for that particular person who is looking for that information. And then there was a shift to a longer keywords, to longer keywords. And we thought about how we optimize for these longer keywords and how we
Yeah.
use TF-IDF algorithm to identify the similarity or cosine similarity. And then there were a few businesses built on that. I used natural language processing to extract the entities. I was really excited about that for a certain for a few years regarding analyzing the copy on the web page and the anchor text and the incoming keywords, and to match all that using the entities and bigrams and trigrams from NLTK to truly understand the intent. Even behind the traditional distribution to informational, transactional, navigational types, like what's the true reason why people are buying something.
Yeah.
And I worked at some company, and they utilized this approach. When somebody performed a purchase, they made a purchase, and on the thank you page, they did this pop-up which said, why did you buy from us? And some people filled that out, and based on their answers, you could get deeper into their mindset. And then you could match that information to the product that they purchased and power your marketing strategy going forward.
Yeah, form your messaging according to your audience feedback, and this is something that every business should do. Like if you don't get the feedback from your customers, then you can't improve your product.
Absolutely, absolutely. And going back to ChatGPT, so regarding we moved from the simple keywords to large prompts. When person provides the context to ChatGPT, right, or to LLM, and what I think we should be doing, the webmasters and SEO people, what we need to be doing now is to maybe go back to this entities algorithm or methodology when we process the information on the website, on our websites, and extract these entities, and then we try to map the possible context or possible prompts to these entities that we have on the website. It's just an idea, and I might play with it for a while to test it. But this, I think, basically we need to adapt now to this increased angst.
I agree. I agree. And Slava, tell me, what do you look for in a successful SEO campaign? Like,
Well, first of all, there should be a strategy. And what I did over years, I came up with a checklist. I found an SEO checklist on the web. Somebody created it, and I adopted it to my needs. I added some additional points, and I modified it from year to year. So right now I have it modified for 2025. And the problem is, especially for me, it has been that whenever you start working with a website, lots of websites, every website is different. They have they're at different stage of optimization. Some of websites are not optimized, some of them are very optimized, and they require different things to be done. So this checklist, it helps me to make sure that every point is optimized. And that's actually built on Bruce Clay's approach, because he used to say that we need to make sure that that our website is better than our competitors' websites. So let's say every point in our website should be better than the same point in the competitor's website. That's what I learned from his masterclass in 2012. And I'm using this checklist to make sure that all the points are checked and completed. So the page titles are in place, the internal linking is in place, everything is done properly. So that's the classical SEO, I would say. Now, also, we're talking about the importance of links, whether they're important or not, the optimization for AI, how to do that, do we need to apply this LLMs.txt or not? All
Mm-hmm.
these new things, they need to be added to this checklist. And the
Mm-hmm.
modern search engine optimization, it should be done considering all these new tools and new changes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, okay. Thanks for sharing that. I also wanted to ask you because, like, I know that at some point when you're working on the website's SEO, you just hit the wall and you just want to find a way how to improve the positions. And from my experience, this is where the perfect timing for link building campaign comes. So I want to ask you, like, because a lot of people are saying links are not the best ranking signal. Some of them they say links are the best and will always remain as the strongest signals based on what Nathan Gotch, for example, was saying in his videos. So I want to ask you, how important is link building?
You know what? My opinion is that link building lost its how to say that popularity, or let me actually dial it back. So before we were talking about 200 factors that
Mm-hmm.
help a web page to rank, and link building was one of these factors. That was prior to this neural net ad algorithms.
Mm-hmm.
A neural network, that's what Google started using in 2016 or around 2016. It's a black box that has lots of inputs, and we're talking, let's say, about these 200 plus inputs.
Yeah.
That and backlinks is one of them. And you put this input, you load this information into this black box, and you get the result, the position and search results.
Mm-hmm.
That was the idea back then. And each of these inputs, it has its own weight from 0 to 1, let's say, and it can change dynamically. So
Mm-hmm.
that complicates things even more. So my assumption is that, let's say, links were one of these inputs, or have been one of these inputs, and their weight was, let's say, 1, very important. So they affected the ranking very much.
Mm-hmm.
Now this weight has shifted, and it's probably not 1 but 0.1 or 0.2.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying this is just my understanding how this is happening. Of course, things have changed a lot. Everything is much more complex than that, what I've just described. But I think links are still important, but they should be relevant. They should not be appearing on the website rapidly at the same time, because that could trigger some algorithms. They should be done from using. There are different ways of doing that. Like, as I
Mm-hmm.
mentioned, I started as a link builder, so I built
Yeah.
all kinds of backlinks. But now I'm telling my clients, if it's a small business, I'm saying you want to do it strategically and build, let's say, one link from your local chamber of commerce, from the city where you
Mm-hmm.
operate, and that could be a good signal for you. If
Yeah.
it's an e-commerce website, I would recommend to buy a blog, a well-established blog on the same topic that already has accumulated lots of backlinks, and go very meticulously through these backlinks, through this content, and then redirect the pages to your blog on your domain.
Mm-hmm. That's smart.
There are different approaches
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
depending on the situation.
And tell me, what tips would you give companies looking to scale their SEO efforts through strategic partnerships?
Well, I read this book. It's called Competition,
Mm-hmm.
Co-Petition, and it's an old one, but they talk about the game theory and how company could regard itself in that scheme where you have the competitors, you have suppliers, you have clients, and you have complementers. So in that scheme, you can think about how you could utilize your competitors or your indirect competitors to become your partners. You might be competing on one side, but you might be helping each other on the other side. And so I'm regarding partnership through that lens since I read that book. And let's say if somebody is doing paid search, I can speak with them and
Mm-hmm.
ask them if they would be happy to provide my services to their clients, and vice versa. If somebody needs paid search, I can recommend their services.
Mm-hmm.
I have a few friends who specialize in paid ads, and whenever somebody asks me about paid ads, I recommend their services, for example.
Yeah.
So there are always opportunities. It depends on how you look at things.
Yeah, and they say don't. They say there is this sentence. It says, "Don't wait for the perfect opportunity. You take the moment and make the opportunity." And I think that's something that we all need to do. But some people can see it faster and react faster and better. Some people might not see it right away, but it's like that. So yeah, I want to move and discuss more about the AI influence in the SEO industry. So I'm going to just form a follow-up question based on what you previously said, that you built a checklist that you updated to 2025. I suppose it has some things related to the AI, such as LLM, TXT, and things that you mentioned. And I want to ask you, do you use AI to help you with some of the tasks that could be found on that specific list that you currently have?
Kind of. So I'm experimenting with it right now. And now you know that there is a boom in AI agents
Yeah,
field. So people are building these AI agents with N8N and other
yeah.
tools. So I'm exploring the idea of automating some of these points in this checklist using AI. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, I did that before using Python, but that was more around if-else logic. Now we have LLMs, so you could just plug
Yeah.
LLM, it will do something. But I firmly believe that there should be a system of checks that serves as a filter for every LLM input, because you
Mm-hmm.
can't just plug in an LLM and expect that it will get the job done. I
Yeah.
think it should be a synergy between a person and an LLM, so to achieve the best results.
And since you've been using Python for a while, I'm familiar that, for example, Claude Code can build Python scripts using an LLM. And basically, it can follow your instructions, your modification, and it can run serious Python scripts. Did you test it out?
No, I did not. You mean Claude from Anisotropic?
Yes, now you can integrate Claude in,
Yeah.
for example, Visual Code Studio, and then
Okay.
it can code for you, basically.
Yeah. No. So what I did, I experimented with it, and I asked Claude to build me an app in React,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
it did that pretty well. ChatGPT does this. I think they can do that as well, but I have not tried that functionality yet in ChatGPT.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, what I wanted to add here, in order not to forget, so with the introduction of ChatGPT and LLMs, I've been using it for some SEO tasks, but those SEO tasks were related more towards understanding the customers. And so I know some people are using it. They use ChatGPT to find the keywords, which I think it's not correct, because they won't be able to tell you the exact keywords. They will be imagining things and just giving you some assumptions and such. So what I did instead, I could, for example, describe the customer, the customer persona, based on a typical persona that my
Hmm.
clients have, and I would ask ChatGPT to give me more insights based on this description. Like, this is my ideal customer.
Hmm.
Tell me 5 things that I might not be thinking of that this person cares about,
Hmm.
or they're interested about in
Yeah.
relation to my client's business.
Yeah.
Maybe they have some hidden questions or something we could not think of.
Uh-huh.
And I worked with a pretty big company. They had their own VP of content, and ChatGPT just appeared. It was a couple of years ago, and with that company, with their VP of content, we developed a very elaborate method of how to understand their customers and how to build the content calendar for that company
Mm-hmm.
based on the intent, based on the questions that we might be asking or they might be asking,
Mm-hmm.
etc. And I used to build that series of prompts. I used an approach from some of the greatest minds in information retrieval,
Mm-hmm.
and that's this is, I think, how you could use ChatGPT in a smart way.
Mm-hmm. That's very interesting. I mean, it seems like you make him understand the entire topic better. So you give him the quality input, and of course you will get the better output than just typing a short query prompt.
Yes, it's more like, let's say somebody, some great mind, they introduce a concept related to
Mm-hmm.
information retrieval or related
Mm-hmm.
to uh, how how customers think, or how we think, or how
Mm-hmm.
we talk,
Mm-hmm.
something related to psychology. Let's say that can be a psychological concept, and
Yeah.
you take that concept and you think about it through the lens of marketing and branding and customer acquisition. And then you create this prompt for ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT about the psychological concept and the client's business. And basically, you let you let ChatGPT do the work.
Oh,
That's it.
that's very interesting. I like it. I like the way of. I mean, I like the entire approach that you have there. And by the way, for the keywords, there are some APIs that you can connect with ChatGPT, and they can help you get the actual information, the exact keyword positions that are correct. There are ways now to do that, and I've been testing it out. I even built an app that analyzes Google search, AI overview results, and then takes all the feedback. You just need to type the keyword, of course, and then it gives you back the feedback by analyzing all the AI overview and Google search results. How you need to structure your content, what you need to be to do in order to rank in AI overview as well, things like that, and even it can like create a new page. And this is something that I've been working on for the last 2 months because I find it very interesting how you can now connect AI with real data sources through various APIs endpoints, and then you can do some very good things and simplify some tasks.
And
So and mhm.
how do you like the results? Sorry for interrupting you. How do you like the results?
I like the results. I really like the results, especially because it generates the HTML that you can basically preview in your browser, send it to your content writer, so he can update the content. Your designer, he can do the design, and you have a perfect piece to publish.
Okay,
Yeah, I
that sounds
mean,
interesting.
yeah, I'll make sure to forward the link after the call.
Yeah, that would
Um,
be great. I'm going to ask.
Yeah, no worries. And since we are discussing these trends like and technologies, I want to ask you what SEO trends or technologies excite you the most right now?
Well, for many years, I've been following Gartner's hype cycle chart.
Mm-hmm.
They've been building these great charts, and one of the things that attracted my attention has been customer data platforms,
Mm-hmm.
CDPs, because I think that it's very important to understand the true need of a customer. And to do that, you need to be able to get the information. You need to understand what they like, and what they do on the website, and basically just regular information that they provide. So
Mm-hmm.
once you have that, you can build on top of that. So you could use, let's say, ChatGPT to analyze the data, or you can get some insights. And as I mentioned in the example before, there was this pop-up at the end of a checkout process that asked, "Why did you buy from us?" Right? Now you could connect ChatGPT to those answers, and you could do that even better. So that's something
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah, yeah.
excited.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. Also, I have a question about the content that performs well. So, what frameworks or tools do you recommend for structuring content that performs well? Let's say both in SEO, search engine result pages, but in AI overview results as well.
Could you please elaborate a little bit more regarding frameworks like WordPress, or frameworks like
Uh,
Method and Elements, and what do you
More
exactly?
like, for example, when I say framework, I mean like content production workflow. Like we analyze this and then we do that. We send it to our writers. That was I referring to.
Yeah. So back then, again, I think 2012, 2014, at one of the conferences, there was a presentation by Greg Jarboe
Mhm.
regarding a content factory. And I liked it a lot. It was a series of slides. I liked it a lot. I asked him to send me the presentation. I still have it somewhere. And in that presentation, he described the content machine, how it
Mhm.
how it works from the beginning till the very end. So it's like a factory where everything goes on a conveyor belt, and
Mhm.
at each stage certain actions are done to produce that content. So I'm very excited about this approach, and I'm exploring the ways of
Mhm.
putting that into AI.
Yeah, nice. I mean, I recently read that Google announced that AI content won't be penalized, but like for example, if you misuse it and you start publishing 50 articles a day, of course you will be penalized. They will know. To move more and discuss about the different metrics in SEO, I want to ask you, which metrics do you find most important when scaling SEO efforts?
Specifically regarding search engine optimization, I'm looking
Mhm.
at the number of keywords, the total number of keywords a website is ranking for. There are lots of things in SEO that we cannot influence, we cannot impact. But
Mhm.
let's say as we add more content to the website, we have been traditionally ranking for more keywords. Now, again, like the situation changes because people are getting those answers from AI,
Mhm.
and we might not be able to look at the same KPI like that again. We might need to change
Yeah.
our approach to the KPIs. But traditionally, I was looking at the number of keywords. I was looking at sessions from active users
Mhm.
on the website. Um, I was looking from the technical SEO standpoint. Of course, I've been looking at the number of pages indexed in Google.
Mhm.
You need to look at the quality of those pages that are indexed,
Mhm.
because you don't want to have just anything there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and purely from the SEO perspective, again, you look not really a KPI, but internal links, I think, very important.
Mhm.
And if there is a way to measure the the equity that those internal links
Okay.
pass, I don't want to say page rank, but some metric that helps you understand which page on your website at a given moment of time has more weight. I think that would
I
be a great
understand.
metric to have.
Yeah, nobody provided such a detailed answer before, and I 100% agree with all the metrics that you just listed. And I wasn't thinking about some metrics in a way you did, but you just opened my eyes. So thank you, Slava.
Of course.
And since you worked with different teams, how do you ensure, for example, let's say sales and marketing, they work together. How do you ensure that both sales and marketing teams stay aligned around data and reporting?
Yes, I mean communication. I think communication is the key, because you need to. It's better to over communicate, than to under communicate, and uh, training and explaining things, how things work, what's
Mhm.
important, because for them, let's say for marketers, it might be the quantity of leads. For
Mhm.
sales, it might be the quality of leads. So understanding how things work. Going back to the topic of AI, a few years ago, just when I finished my Udacity education, one of the things I built using machine learning was an algorithm that scored the leads to understand the quality of each lead. So,
Mhm.
for example, we had the call center at the organization I worked at, and I built this machine learning algorithm that took all the leads that were incoming and analyzed them and assigned the score based on the metric, based on the training data that I had.
Oh.
And I saw that, let's say, certain leads that had certain parameters, let's say certain people from certain states, or they visited the number of pages on the website,
Yeah.
they ended up making a purchase, right? And I used that as a training set. So my algorithm could tell that if a lead comes from a certain state and they have certain parameters, there is, let's say, 85 probability that this
Oh, that's so
they will
smart.
they will convert. So, and I prioritize those leads up in the queue. And that's something that you could build without ChatGPT. That's
Yeah.
pure machine, and that's actually part of AI as well.
That's so smart. Actually, last year when I was developing a sales team in house, I told my growth marketer to help me build a system like that worked via app script through Google Sheets. And when we have a lead list that we want to reach out to, each one of them gets their qualified score rating, and then based on
Yeah,
that we prioritize the least that. But what you created is on a much higher level because they are coming to you, and you're qualified them. It's completely opposite here because we are reaching out to them. But yeah, I get it, and I'm familiar that you don't need AI. You can build it via scripts, and if you have like a qualified metrics that you predefine.
more importantly is that now you could use AI to build AI. Like you could go to ChatGPT and say, build. First of all, you could say, okay, I'm a complete newbie in machine learning. Teach me machine learning in 30 minutes. I've got 30 minutes. Give me the most important concepts and explain like I'm five what it is. And this is my situation. Let's say I want to increase the sales on my business. I'm doing this. I'm selling tires, for example, right? So you give all this context, and ChatGPT tells you what is machine learning, how you could apply it to your business, your specific business, what algorithms would be the most helpful. And then as the next prompt, you could say, okay, now build me this machine learning algorithm that you just recommended, that should increase my sales. And again, I'm completely newbie in Python. I don't understand machine learning or any machine learning algorithms. Just build me this app, and it will create you an app with this machine learning algorithm under the hood that you could use. You could just plug and play it, and I think
Yeah.
that's where we're going.
I agree. I agree. Okay, and I do have a few more questions before we wrap it up. So this is the question that I ask almost every guest, and that's what is a marketing myth or misconception you often encounter?
That's a good one. Well, it depends. Actually, I have another video that I recently shot
Mm-hmm.
regarding the mistakes that, like typical mistakes that companies make or website owners make when they build a website, or
Mm-hmm.
they have a new website and things they do. One misconception is that, again, they think about backlinks as search engine optimization. So they want to get the results fast, and instead of, let's say, buying ads, they go and buy SEO services, which is essentially a link building services. But those link building services, they are done not by a legitimate company, not by the company who
Mm.
understands how to do link building, but by someone from Fiverr. And that actually worsens the reputation of their brand and ruins the credibility. And another thing that's related to that is that my approach has always been that you want to regard your website not just a website, but as an asset and as a brand. So you want to treat it with all the attention that you have, and you don't want just to order a $5 link building package from
Yeah.
Fiverr for your brand that you want to cherish and build and treat it as an asset.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Definitely. Sadly, many businesses they went and bought like 200 backlinks for $200 from Fiverr, and they got a bunch of chunk, and it just ruined their rankings, hurt their organic keywords because that specific keyword just went
Yeah,
over optimized. It fell down with its rankings. Things like that
yeah.
happened, and you should really be careful when you're doing backlinks. You need to work with a company who really has experience in it. Yeah. And
Another thing, there
mhm,
is one more thing that I wanted to mention.
please.
Another thing that I'm noticing is that lots of companies, they have SEO done for them. But
Hmm.
when I'm checking these websites, I'm seeing the approach that was popular a few years ago. Let's say
Oh,
over optimization and lots of internal links that should not be there because Google has become smarter, and it's not like you just plug in all these links everywhere and it will
yeah,
work for you. So that's
I
another thing,
understand.
optimization.
And I know that with every new core update, their website is just going down and down and down until it
Yeah,
completely disappears. I've seen it like for companies that didn't change or update their website anything except publishing new content, like in forms of blogs. Uh, every new update just hurt their rankings, and I
yeah.
agree. And tell me about like because the AI things that's happening, how do you see the role of marketers changing as automation and AI become more commonplace?
Yes. So again, that's another thing. So we as marketers, they need to learn. They need to keep learning every single day, especially right now when the rate of change has increased. Our rate of learning should increase as well.
Hmm.
It should be a constant learning process, and this, as I mentioned before, this there should be synergy. We should learn how to create the synergy because between us as marketers and all these tools. Same thing as we learned to use Scrapebox, or how we learned to
Hmm.
use Screaming Frog SEO Spider.
Hmm.
LLMs is a new tool, and we need to learn how to use it.
Hmm.
And again, the concept of how we understand marketing, how we approach marketing now, because our consumers, the consumers, they also change, because now people start using AI. So we need to understand what we should change in our approach to treat them better and serve them better with what they're looking for.
Yeah, I understand, and you already elaborated on that and touched that point when you were speaking about how are you prompting to ChatGPT. Without your knowledge and without your experience, you wouldn't know what to ask, what specific
Exactly.
questions and prompts. So I agree about that. So you should still learn more and stay updated because that will enable you to use that AI tool even better.
I think it's an untapped opportunity
Hmm.
to look into these concepts, and that's something that I mentioned earlier. If you take some methodology, some specific methodology
Hmm.
from psychology or from marketing, and apply it within a prompt and apply it using an LLM, you could get some really fantastic and unexpected results,
Hmm.
very specific to your situation. And as I mentioned earlier, all websites are different when you do search engine optimization for them. So for every website, you could create this custom solution using this unique method, maybe a long forgotten method,
Hmm.
and just enhancing it with AI.
And do you have any bold predictions about the future of SEO and digital marketing?
It's hard to make, it's hard to make any predictions, especially at this rate of change, because I'm calling everyone I speak with, I'm telling it's a wild west right now, because people build these tools, that create tons of content, tons of links, and then the websites go up and down, the search results go up and down. So I think that we are in the middle of a very unexpected situation where things are changing very rapidly. It's very hard to keep up with everything what's going on right now, because you can think about, let's say, different technologies that we thought would be popular, but they're not. They just gone, like Flash, macromedia Flash technology that people were
Mm-hmm.
using a long time ago to build websites. Nobody's using it right now.
Yeah.
Another thing I learned about yesterday, I think somebody mentioned AngularJS.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not an expert in programming, but people in the comment section, they discussed that it was booming for some time. Now I don't think that
Yeah.
it's very popular. So I think what we need to do is to focus on the fundamentals,
Mm-hmm.
on the core principles, on understanding the customer psychology, and everything else is just the tools that surrounds the core principles and core foundation. You can
Mm-hmm.
never go wrong with learning, with becoming better at the foundations and
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
fundamental principles of marketing and customer psychology.
Yeah, I get it. I get there are these fundamentals that everybody should know about who wants to specialize in the marketing and want to purchase that career. And I have two more questions for you. First would be what skills, or let's say more importantly, mindsets are most critical for success in your area of expertise?
Yeah, so I think it's there are a few things. So first of all, willingness to learn,
Mm-hmm.
being open, being humble, and being open to learning new things. Sometimes you talk to someone and they tell you something that you know already. You already know that, but it's interesting to hear their perspective, and they might say something that they might put it at a different angle from what you used to learn it from, or what you used to understand it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to be open, to have an open mind to all these new technologies and things that are incoming, and just learn as much as you can. I'm learning every day from my LinkedIn feed, from
Mm-hmm.
this Gartner hype cycle, whenever
Mm-hmm.
they publish it. In fact, there is this funny thing. So what you can do, you can go to ChatGPT and say, you know what, I like Gartner hype cycle for
Mm-hmm.
marketers so much, but they publish it once a year. Can you, and now let's say it's February. Could you build me a similar type of a hype cycle chart based on the
Mm-hmm.
recent information in my area, in my field? And
Mm-hmm.
it will build you a very similar chart with the up-to-date technology, so you can be always up to date with the similar type of a chart or
Yeah, that's
visual representation.
you don't have to wait for a year. You can build it
Mhm.
using AI. That's crazy. That's crazy. And yeah, my final question, I guess, is another question. The second question that I ask every guest, and that's what is the one piece of advice you would give to anyone who's chasing their marketing career or just starting with it?
Yes. So again, it goes back to what I mentioned. The times are changing very fast. Um, I would recommend to get a few books, a few fundamental books on marketing. Again, you could use ChatGPT to ask, here's my situation. I'm just starting in marketing. What are the top 3 books that withstand time, that no matter what happens, these books will be popular, or will always be popular? to get me to learn the basics, right? It will give you these books. Buy these books from Amazon or go to the library, get them and read them. Read these books. So now you'll get these fundamentals, and then just listen to the news, try different methods, see what's working, see what's not working. Because I tried lots of things on my blog 10, 12, 14 years ago. I had my own website that I experimented with, and it
Mhm.
successfully got deranked by Google Panda algorithm. So I learned from that experience. So don't be afraid to learn and practice different things, try different things in marketing to learn more.
Yeah, I agree with you, especially on having a website where you can test the different strategies and see what works and what it doesn't. And this is very important, like to do it by with your hands and to really test it in a live example. Slava, this conversation has been packed with a lot of actionable insights about AI and data driven marketing strategy. So, for listeners who want to connect with you or learn more about your marketing approach, where's the best place to reach you?
Yeah, so on YouTube I have my channel. It's called Slava Rybalka, and I'm on Instagram as Slava Rybalka as well.
Mhm.
So
Okay, thanks for sharing that. And to our Ranking Heroes community, thank you for joining us for another deep dive into what it takes to achieve exceptional growth, this time with Slava. If today's discussion about AI marketing we had inspired some new ideas for your business, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. We'll be back soon with more conversation that will help you climb the top of your industry. Until then, keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Thanks.
thank you for having me.